Hey guys, it's me, Ember. So I'm gonna do a video today because I've had you guys asking if I would go ahead and make a video just to show how I do my eyeshadow look. Um, I'm trying a bunch of new stuff with eyeshadows and really just playing around. But I'm gonna go ahead and make a video. And so, I'll start by showing you these. These are the Dew Color palettes. They've got one for every color of the Pride rainbow. They've got the red, the orange, the yellow, green, blue, purple. Inside of these, though, is really cool because they've got like pressed glitter right in the middle, and they've got beautiful colors. It's super easy to blend these. The red's beautiful, the orange, I've used all that top color. And so the yellow, the green, I used a lot of that green glitter too, the blue, and the purple. And I'll swatch these sometime if you guys want and show you what those look like. And then I'm using the Fierce by Nature Morphe palette. This one's really good. You can get it at Ulta. These colors are very pigmented. Now some of them, like the lighter pink over, where is it? Down here. In that bone color, they're very sheer. Not bone color, skin color. But the pink is really sheer. But then the reds are like very pigmented. I swatched a little bit on my arm. But anyway, so let's get started. Um, so I'm not gonna have all the product names and everything because some of this is just, it's all just makeup I have laying around, and not all of it's in the same container it started in. So, today I'm gonna be doing some underpainting. It's something that I used to do. I kind of stopped doing it for a while. I also want to try this. Well, I won't do that today. Anyway, let's get started. Then I can't read anything without my glasses either. So, I'm gonna get the product name for you guys. This is Believe Beauty. It's sold at Dollar General. Super affordable. This primer is really good. I like this one. Can't see what it says. I don't know. It's the pink primer from them. The primer's not actually pink, and I've used almost all of this stuff, so it's gonna be slim pickings. There we go. I always start with the primer. I did a quick shave before the video so that I wouldn't have too much 5 o'clock shadow sticking through my makeup. And then I'm just gonna add it on my face. And I always start with the primer typically. I used to use lotion, but that can clog your pores and it can be bad for you. So, especially if it's a really thick lotion, it's not gonna be the best idea for this. And like I said, this is my first video, so bear with me, please. Okay, I got that on there pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to be using today. Where are my brushes? This one is. Let me see. Sorry. There's gonna be a lot of this. Makeup Revolution London, the Ultra Powder Contour. Obviously, I really liked this. I use the highlight for eyeshadow. I use it for the highlight. I use it for a lot of stuff. It's really pretty. But this is what I use to contour. Normally, I go in with a cooler tone one, but I used all of that, so I'm going in with this warmer shade. And I'm gonna start doing my contouring. And mind you, when one of the perks of underpainting is you can really just kind of put a little more than you're gonna need, and what that does is you're going to go back in with the foundation at the end and go over the top and blend that into your contour. So you're really going to have more control over shaping exactly where that color lands at, if you've got more of a full coverage makeup. Now, I'm not sure how well that would work with a sheer coverage, because most stuff I do, I try to get more coverage. I go through phases of liking my freckles, and then phases where I just wish I didn't have any. So I really like full coverage foundations for that reason. Um, and nothing like a good concealer too. I used to use just concealer as a foundation, because I wanted full coverage. The only thing is, you go through a lot of concealer that way. If you're doing drag or performing a lot or just wearing makeup a lot, a day-to-day look, you'd be surprised how fast you can go through a little thing of concealer. I shouldn't have used... I'm gonna give this... Okay. Now, I'm really gonna pack the color on, because I like a really defined contour. I like it. It's just very aesthetically pleasing to me. So I'm going in. You're not supposed to bring. You're not supposed to. Normally, I don't bring my contour this far in on the face, but like I said, we're doing underpainting, so we're gonna go back over some of this with foundation and really shape and sculpt that. So there's, like I said, a lot more now than there's going to be in the end. Just starting here. And I'm just using this, and I think it's a powder brush, and it's just the Dollar General brand too, but the brush it's still working, so I'm not complaining. I've had it for a few months, and all the hairs aren't falling out or anything like that, and I'm pretty rough on my brushes. And another thing, I don't have like a lot right now. I'm just now starting to get my collection going again. I kind of lost everything in my divorce, and even my makeup. Like, there's just some stuff you couldn't save. But I'm getting back into it now, and my current partner is amazing, and he loves to get me makeup and really encourages me to follow my passion. I've got some really supportive people in my life today, like my auntie Angel, my partner Michael, Oma and Opa, who are my partner's parents. Um, so, I've got some pretty amazing friends that have been with me through thick and thin. So, I'm really kind of blessed. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep going. I really want to build this color up. I go around the forehead. Now, here's the thing. Because I've got a wider forehead, there's a few different ways I contour. I'm not sure if it's the correct way. I'm sure most of the stuff I do is not the correct way. It's just what works for me. So I think I'm gonna do that one today. Instead of just doing around the hairline, I'm gonna bring this in to the corner of my brow, or where my brow should be, from the top, and I'm gonna blend that and make it a little more rounded. And see where I'm building it right here, and I'm coming up from the brow and working it into the hairline. So this might take a little while. I'm not sure. I'll just keep building that. Keep building, keep building, keep building. No, I really don't like these warmer shades on me, but it's what I've got right now. I prefer cooler tones with my skin. And again, that's just for me. Um, you put too much warmth in something, it can be, it doesn't look bad, I don't think. I get a lot of compliments on it, and so I guess some people like it, but I definitely prefer more cool tones. It's just a much more natural, soft look. And then I'm going to go around, because I've got a very square jaw, I'm going to contour the F out of my jaw. And I really have to be careful right here, because it's very boxy. See how it's very defined? So I like to contour this up onto my face a little bit, just to kind of cut that in. And so, I don't know if you can see it yet, you can't. Also, just so y'all know, I am like blind without my glasses. And I don't have contacts right now, so everything I do, I'm also visually impaired, but I've got this magnifying mirror, which I don't understand the point of having if I'm not using the magnifying side, which I'm not, because, like I said, I'm blind, so I gotta get close. I'm just gonna keep working on this jaw. Really get this on there. And then we'll go back to the forehead. I'm kind of working a little bit here and a little bit there. I move around a lot when I'm doing makeup. Most of my looks are actually what most people will consider more of a nighttime look, or I guess, I guess what I'm trying to say is I do very, in comparison to some people, not so bold, but for my conservative little upbringing, it's a little bit much makeup. It's kind of in your face, but I like that, and kind of clownish aesthetic is very appealing to me. I like it. I don't know, I've always been drawn to clowns. Like, that is my goal, is one day to be a famous clown. Like Bianca Del Rio. Don't forget about Bianca Del Rio, y'all. Don't sleep on her. She is still out there doing it. Okay. Okay, now go back up to the forehead. And I've got this going in there. Okay. Alright. I shouldn't. Give me just a second. I'm gonna close those blinds a little bit. It washes me out. But I always like to use natural lighting. Oh! There goes the phone. Let me steady that again. Please tell me I'm going to be able to get it to steady. That's better. You can see it better now. Now, if you see me, I kind of did really dark from here, an upward angle, and I bring it around, so it's like what is it, Megamind, that show? Like, okay. So I bring it down to right here on the side of the eye, like I said. Now, I need to get like some Q-tips or something and go back in once I'm done with my makeup and get it wet and just trace that tattoo so it stays vibrant. I love wearing makeup, but the one thing I don't like about it is that it sometimes really cancels out that tattoo. Okay. A little more here. Alright. Now, different brush. And I like this flatter one. I guess it's a foundation brush, I'm not sure. But I use it for, and I know I really shouldn't, I should be using a smaller brush. But, like I said, we're underpainting. So we're gonna be okay with being a little more liberal with the amount a contour we add. And we'll just go in later and straighten it up. I don't know if you can see that, but the sides of my nose. And I gotta bring it up into here. Do you see that, what we're doing? See the difference already? The side. But yeah. So, I really like makeup. Obviously I have no professional training. Just some friends have showed me and stuff. I've just kind of played around with it and figured out what I like for me. I do want to start studying more, like, I don't know, techniques and things like that, and get my collection of tools built back up so that I can really put some good content out there. And I know probably not many people will watch this, and that's okay. This is just for the people that wanted to see it. But one day I would really like to be a makeup influencer. It would be my biggest dream, probably. I just feel like makeup is such a beautiful form of expression. No matter what you're feeling, you can find the right colors, the right patterns, the right whatever to express that and convey that. So it's just something that brings me a lot of peace when I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Excuse me. Pardon me. So hopefully me doing makeup, I can inspire somebody to do something that helps them feel better. Now, I really wish I had an even darker contour so I could really go back in over that line. I'm trying to see if I can use any of these browns. I'm going to use one of these browns, actually. But this is kind of wonky to work with as a contour. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go in with this lightest brown, on this side over here. It's not the lightest brown, but for what I'm doing, it's the lightest I'm going to need. And we're going to take that and get it on my little brush. And yeah, I use like 2 or 3 brushes for most of my makeup. Excuse me, don't worry, I clean them. But I don't really have too many right now. So I'm just gonna go back in under this contour, or over this contour, not under it, but right along the bottom line here. And you're just gonna lightly work this in and blend it out. And this is going to help sculpt my face. It looks a little loud right now, but once we get that foundation blending in over the rest of all of this, it's really going to soften it up. So we got, again, I don't normally bring it in this far. I'm going to sculpt it up that way, but use this brush, blend my child. Okay. And I'm gonna work it on the jawline and stuff too. Whenever I put my contour, I'm gonna use a little bit of this in the edges to really hollow that out and bring that back. Okay. So right there. This one. Oh, that's a darker shade. Working in the corner. Now it's blendable on a smaller scale really nicely. It blends, like it's not super hard to blend or work with if you're trying to use one of these shadows as a contour. But if you notice, it looks just a tiny bit splotchy. And so it's not as smooth as even the dew color that there's 6 monochromatic palettes I showed at the beginning. They they blend really well, and you can use some from the red palette. You can use it from any of the palette. You can have any color blush, but especially the red palette. They have one that I like to use as a blush. And anytime like a shadow is a little too sheer and it's pink or red or purple or sometimes even green or blue, whatever. Mostly pink, red, or purple. I'll try to work it in as part of my contour or um, part of my blush. Just because I love to play with the colors, you know. It's fun. Something very relaxing and cathartic about it. There's one spot where I just don't blend right there. You see that? That's gonna be just a spot. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'll fix it with some powder. It'll all pull together in the end. We got this. We got this. And bring it up into my hair. I'm gonna bring a little bit down around the side. I think it's because I forgot to tap it before I did that. So it's a little bit, a lot of bit of product right there. Okay, and so we got the contouring part done, as you can see. I think I want a little bit of this on the sides of my nose. I need to find a light, fluffy brush. And so, whenever I'm working with powders, and maybe I'm not doing this right, but I like to use like a fluffier brush when I think that's the point of fluffy brushes is for blending. But I just like to gently use them, a light fluffy brush with a gentle hand, um, to really try to carve stuff out. And we need to come down here and bottom. And there's tons of different ways you can contour your nose. This is just what I like, for me. And so it's gonna make like an exclamation point, like, there's the dot and there's the line. Got that going. Ooh, no. Like that. It's okay. I'm gonna try to go up there with that. No, it's not working. Anywho, okay, now for the foundation. It is in Super Stay Active Wear by Maybelline. The coverage on this, the only thing is it dries really fast. So I used a damp beauty blender, and the other day I was sitting it in spots on my face, and then I was gonna go back and blend it all out. Well, in the time it took me to get it all where I needed it to be, by the time I went back to go start blending it, it was a little harder to blend out. Now, it still wasn't hard to do, it was just more difficult than it is when you blend it right off the bat. It wasn't difficult, I wouldn't say, just not the most easy. Okay. And I like to put the foundation on something, and this is way more foundation than I'll need. I got a little carried away. But I put it on something, and then on a beauty blender from there, and then put it on. And I like it better than just putting it directly on the skin. I feel like it gives you a little more control this way when you're doing underpainting. Okay. I'm just gonna. I'm still gonna kind of keep that in mind. I'm just blending upward a little bit. And then, so where the most concentration of the product is, I do not put that right on top of the contour. So I'm not like gonna go, if it's more of a full coverage foundation, I'm not just gonna do all this contouring and then go right over it with the foundation. It's just gonna wipe it out. So I'm trying to be very meticulous about where I put the sponge when it has the highest concentration of product on it. Because I need to be mindful of the blending that I'm going to be doing. And I want there to be the least amount of product on the sponge when it comes to lightly blending over this other stuff to soften it out. Now I've got this really harsh line on my cheek, but you see how the foundation is starting to take its toll. Now I'm going to, once there's almost no, it doesn't seem like there's any product on it. Like I just blended most of that out. So then at the end, that's one of the perks of like smearing it out and flattening it like this. If you can get a tiny bit at the end, and you can just, that's way too much already. See, I don't want to blend that up there. And just lightly go over this. And it makes it cooler when I add that other brown. And then going over it with the beauty blender. Or, this isn't like neighbor and beauty blenders. But still. Okay. And you see now, it's a very subtle kind of contour there. But I'm gonna go up here and start blending on this. I gotta hurry, like I said, with this foundation. It really is some pretty good coverage. That's better. It's really softening that, you see. But again, after you've already put the highest concentration, like right there, I like to pat it, and then I'm gonna come in over here, and we're just gonna put that there. We'll come back in with powder in a little bit and bake for just a few. I am using a new powder than I normally use. Normally I use Airspun. Who doesn't use Airspun, right? But I'm trying this Maybelline powder out just to see what I think. And blending this. Now, I like to leave, when I blend right here, I like to start down here, and I like to leave more product to kind of just set for a few. Like, I blend it out a little bit, but if you notice, it's kind of still pretty concentrated right there. It's an area I'm going to highlight later, and so that leaves a little bit, and it gives me kind of a starting point. I need a drink of my iced coffee in a second, dude. That's so good. Okay. And then bring some of this up. Yeah. I'll kind of blend it just enough because, like I said, we're not gonna leave that much right there, but just to set for a second. Yeah, this is coming together. Like I said, it's a process from start to finish. Oh yeah. but that's a lot of fun. See, I'm starting to look human. Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, I think I have just enough foundation. That's pretty good. Maybe a tiny bit much. Pardon me. Yeah. Now, I don't want to leave it setting here because this is a trouble area for me. I have like these tiny little bumps. I thought they were pimples, but I usually don't get many pimples. But they never come to a head. They're just like little bumps that are there. Um, and whenever I don't blend this particular foundation, because it does dry so quickly, and I think it's like a 30-hour stay or something. So it's got like 30 hours of staying power, I think, something like that. But it's there once it's there. Like if you don't get this stuff moving when it's hot off the press, you're gonna end up with some splotchy, not so happy makeup. And I'm really sad because I'm seeing a few spots where it just kind of where that shadow that I used as a contour kind of just caked up. But it's an easy enough fix. And it's just giving me some shape to my face. I'll do some crazy fun, just off the wall stuff later on, but excuse me, for now, I'm just doing a basic look. That's what y'all asked about. Oh no. Start blending it in over here. Oh, I forgot about that up there. It's gonna be a little interesting to blend out now. Alrighty. I'm sorry if this video is really long, or boring or something, I don't know, but, like I said, it's my first one, so I'm sure they'll get better as time goes on. I'll figure out what works and what doesn't and all that jazz, but I'm really excited to do this, and I'm really very, 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 very flattered that anyone would even ask for me to. Like I said, I do not have any professional training, when it comes to makeup, so it should make sense if I'm not doing the techniques or something right, but I am going to start researching it more, because I want to be more informed. I've always just kind of, for a long time, whenever I did makeup, there was always some really Club Kitty, like, raver-esque type stuff. And that's what my first big draw to makeup was the Club Kid scene, the Party Monster, the big, dramatic, over-the-top, extravagant looks. That was where I really spent most of my time playing with. Now, I wouldn't say they were, like, really extravagant, but for someone that's, from a small town in Oklahoma, raised in a super conservative Christian family, they were pretty out there looks, and people loved them, which I was really surprised by because I hadn't really done much of anything like that before. But once I started playing around with the ideas and different costumes and colors, people liked it. And so And people liking it made me like it more because, I just felt like I was going in the right direction. Which I already kind of knew I was, because I was doing something that made me happy. And it wasn't hurting anybody. So, when I look at it in those terms, it's a good thing to do. Because I'm bringing myself joy. Other people are getting some sort of entertainment or, I don't know, something from me doing it. It's like a win-win-win-win-win. Okay, we got that all blended out. It's much softer. You see that? You still see those warm tones kind of coming through underneath the foundation. It looks a little orangey in some spots. That's right there. I need to get that spot worked out. But I'll move the camera in a minute too, since the lighting isn't the best. It's natural lighting now. At the end, I'll kind of move the camera and get up out of this light for a second too, so you can see it in different lighting. Now here's from the foundation. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I just put a little dot there, a little dot there. And I use the lightest shade that I could find, because I want it to kind of highlight a little bit too. I'm just gonna put a little bit right here. And normally I just do it and blend, so I'm not sure if this is gonna be hard to blend out. I don't think so. If I remember, I don't think this one's hard to blend out. All the areas I highlighted are the innermost spots on that where that highlight was. I'm just gonna go back over with this lighter concealer. And this stuff, I love this stuff. What is this? Let's see. Let me grab my glasses for a second. And this is Effacer. Let's see. Instant Age Rewind, Effacer. I guess it's supposed to be like a play on words for eraser. But I love this stuff. And a little bit does go a long way. But I go through this stuff a lot. A little bit right here on my chin. A little bit right here and left on my top lip. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't put any contour under there, so I'm gonna go back real quick. No, I'll blend this first. Alright. And I'm just gonna go back with the same beauty blend I've been using. Some people say, and I guess it really depends on what concealer you're using, is I've heard some people say if you leave it after you set it when you're doing your concealer, is you want to leave it sitting here for like 2 minutes, and just so it can kind of dry, because you really do want that full on coverage, that all in one spot look. It's just really lightening under my eyes. And this powder is gonna set all of this, and then I go back in with a little more powder over the top, and I have those. So I've got all that built up underneath, and kind of got my definition chiseled out. But just for a little added effect, I like to go in with powder after I've done this, and really accentuate those spots that I contoured. I don't know. I like kind of a more, like I said, clowny, dramatic. Now, a little bit on top of the lid, because that'll be good for eyeshadow primer. Because I don't got the money for an eyeshadow primer right now. One day I will. Once I get back to work. Once I get all this medical stuff figured out, then I'm gonna go back to work. But the family seems to all be in agreement that I should figure out what's going on with me internally, and it's causing me so much trouble before I worried about a job, because, you know, if you're constantly getting sick at work and having to leave work and miss work, and, you know, then you're not really being your true potential as an employee, and it's not a true reflection of just what a good worker you can be, you know. So maybe I would be doing people an injustice by trying to just give it my best shot, so to speak, when I know that something is seriously not okay with me. I was throwing up blood and had some other blood complication type things going on for about a year now, and I'm getting into a doctor to get that all taken care of finally. But it's been getting better. I started this liver cleanse. I found out I have liver damage, which isn't surprising. I lived a life in my 20s, so who didn't? But there we go. Now, it's really, notice how I highlighted here and I went up. I just like the way it looks. I feel like it makes these look longer. My cheeks look higher. Almost done. The eyeshadow is one of the fastest parts, typically. But we'll see how today goes, because I am trying something new. I'm gonna do this in 2 parts, probably. How long have I been doing this video? Yeah, this will be a 2-part thing. So let me finish blending this out and put on the powder. This video is really long. Nobody's gonna watch all of this, but it's just because I told people I would do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Hopefully some people get something that can help them out of it. Okay. Now, the new powder I was talking about. I'm gonna put these bad boys on and see what it says. This is the Shine Free Loose Powder. Polvo. I don't know how you say that last name. I'm not gonna try. That's not last name. That's powder. I think it might be loose powder in another language. And I'm using the shade Light 01. And this is the Mabel New York Shine Free Loose Powder. So I like to. This video is gonna be done in just a second. This will just be an underpainting video, I guess. It took a long time. Sorry about that, you guys. Now, here's this. And it's the little powder puff that's very flat. Not really a puff so much. Tiny bit, but that came with it. I'm just gonna go in. I've got some here in my lid. That's how I like to do it. And then I'm gonna fold this in half. I usually do it like this. And I'm going to pound it on there. And I'm just gonna go right underneath here and press that powder. Not really hard. Firmly, but not hard. And I'm going to just lightly go up as I go up out here and bring it lighter and lighter. And I'm gonna follow that. And see how we got it all right here. Now I'm gonna bake this. Baking, you're just leaving that loose powder sitting there. It's gonna kind of get that concentration of color going for you once you blend it out. And I put it on before I do my eyeshadow. I'll do my whole eyes and everything before I blend it out usually. And this is also good for the under eye baking. If you've got a product that say has some more fallout, maybe an eyeshadow that has more fallout than other products, which fallout is whenever you put your brush in it and or you're rubbing your brush on the pan and it's all that extra eyeshadow that you see falling out of there, or when you hit the tap the brush, all that extra stuff is all fallout. I think if I'm correct there. But so say you're doing an eyeshadow look and you've got your whole beautiful face, and that's why some people, a lot of people actually know, do their eyes first and then they do their face. But I do my face first most times, and then you set this under here, and say you've got that fallout from your eyeshadow. Well, you've got this protecting. It's a layer in between your makeup and the eyeshadow, and when you dust it off at the end, if you do it lightly, it should keep that fallout from smudging up the rest of your face that you've already done. So it's kind of a safety net, if you will. I guess I'm doing 2 videos today. Um, I'm baking my sponge. Okay. Anywhere I usually put some sort of powder to bake for a little bit. Just kind of like, the added effect. Oh my. This is nice. Starting to look human. Oh, to be a human. Now, this is the important part when it comes to baking. And this is one of the main reasons I fold this in half. You see how I've kind of got this little point going here, this little horn, this little dagger. I like to really make that as sharp as I can. And bring that in with the powder. Really get it caked on there. You probably shouldn't use phrases like caked on there when it comes to makeup. It might not be appealing to some people, but I say fuck it, or pardon me, F it. She's a clown, so. You got that going. See, that's how that's defining it even more. That point. No. Yes. And then once you blend it out, it's not going to be this intense, obviously. So, I'll make these videos not so long next time. I'll have to find some way to edit these. Because I'm just doing this as one take, one full take. It's just going to be on there. I'm in this group on Facebook called Free Mom Hugs. And it's a super supportive group. And the moms in there I'll post pictures of my makeup, and they always tell me I should be a makeup artist and all these encouraging things, and ask to see tutorials on how I do this stuff, and so this is really for them mainly. This is the reason it's really going to be on YouTube, but if somebody else stumbles across it and likes it, I'll probably share it on my Facebook, and with like my auntie and my friends, and see what people think. Tell me what they like, what they don't like. I forgot. That's my trouble area. I always do that and forget by the time I get there. I don't want to put too much powder sitting there, and I don't want to bake this area too long. I probably won't even bake this area. Just because I'm about to go over the whole face with the powder, but, we're just gonna lightly dust off the excess. Okay. That's better. You see how my face has a very natural. That part's not supernatural, but we're supernatural. It's not the most natural, but we're gonna go in with the powder now. And these other spots where I've contoured, and I just like to lightly press it in with a fluffy brush. Blending, always use a fluffy brush for blending. It's what they're made for. But. And this is just a powder, or this might be a blush brush. I think the powder brush by this company is a little bit fuller, bigger. This is more of a medium size. But it fans out, so it looks a lot bigger than the actual brush. Well, not, I guess not, but then it is most of the time. Once you press it like this, it really fans it out. Okay, now I've got this all going. So this is the end of this video. I'll just say one last thing and then I'll let y'all go. And if you want to see the next video for the eyeshadow, I'll try to be a little faster on that one. Where did I put that? There it is. Alright, so, and I love a powder that a little bit goes a long way. This is a very, so this is like a pigmented, very pigmented. Normally I use translucent, so, and I'll do it right there on the end. I'll get that off there. Okay, bring it down just a little bit more. It's a fine line. Okay. So, I will let this bake for a little bit, and I will dust it off at the beginning of the eyeshadow video so you guys can see. And I'll do the last little bit of touch up on this then as well. So that's some pretty simple underpainting. I hope y'all like it. Let me know what you think. And I will see you guys in the eyeshadow video. Thanks.